Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. So I'm back here again for another review for Fear the Walking Dead. This is the 10th episode, the second season. The name of this episode is Do Not Disturb. This episode, oh man, I don't know what to say. I liked it. I think that the latter end of it definitely was a good payoff. But I think my expectations of the show are completely different to what they're giving me. I think I really like the way that they started doing the stuff with Nick, which more on just focused on just what's going on with him. When they started going with Madison Strand last episode and they doing stupid stuff, I did not like that, but I thought it added tension. I thought it added depth. You know what I'm saying? But then the beginning of this episode, we're introduced to a whole other character named Elena, you know, and we get to see what happened with the hotel, how the hotel got in the situation it was. You get to find out about the surrounding things that are happening. And then we've got Travis and Chris, you know. And I was thinking, you know, looking at the previews, I was like more interested in seeing where the end of this season is gonna go, you know. And I mean, there's a lot of different build-up and stuff. I think the problem is I was brought into this episode with the expectation that somebody was gonna die. I don't know how that came up. I don't know if it got like spurred on by somebody else, but I was like, somebody's gonna die, you know, this episode. And I was thinking it was gonna be something with Chris and with Travis, you know. And I mean, the Chris and Travis, you know, the whole entire arc with them, it was very interesting. You know, it brought resolve to why Travis and his motivation is doing stuff. But from the realization that Chris is not going to change, and Chris is very much so dangerous, Travis just doesn't get it. It's like the world around him, he's completely oblivious to the realization of what needs to happen. Not only with his son, but just everything, you know? It's just so, I don't know, misguided. And I mean, at the end of the episode, when I think about what happened with Chris and what happened with Travis, if I was Travis, and it's hard to say, it's terrible to say, I mean, it's just as worse as, you know, shooting Chris, but you have to leave that dude, man. Like, he thrives on destruction, and he's been pushed to that level. I thought that there's a group that they interact with, you know, I thought that Chris honestly was going to just take that group out, you know. I think that would have added a little bit more, you know, maniacal, like, you know, like this kind of like jaded kind of cross way that Chris is going, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all right, I want to help, so I want to go and just weed out the competition. Now we've got supplies and stuff like that. Because he could have very much so did that, but he did something more heel, you know? And I was like, dude, Chris is unredeemable at this point. You know, it'd be one thing if he went and did something against the group that took them in. But, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what Travis is going to do, but Travis is just stupid, you know, in a lot of different regards. And really naive to what's going on with his son. And I think that for me as a viewer, I'm just like, what is that? Essentially. And then you got the whole Madison and Strand situation. You don't get any regard of that. Instead, you get the whole situation with Alicia and this new character, Elena. And I thought it was really interesting. I mean, the things that Alicia was saying with Elena and the way they kind of had to do certain things, I thought there was going to be more tension than that, and it just wasn't. Even when the dangerous moments happened, I was just like, okay. Like, it wasn't that kind of tension that I needed, you know? Even the way that the walkers were going, like, there were moments where it's kind of like this slow motion kind of style. And I was like, what is this? And that might have been the way that they were going, but it was like, even the very first scene didn't... I've noticed that with Fear the Walking Dead, when walkers turn, they instantly turn. Versus when we think about when not Alicia, but what's the girl's name from The Walking Dead? I forget her name. Andrea. When Andrea's sister died, right? It took a whole day for that to just kind of transfer. Unless this is a different strand of the virus, a more potent version, I don't understand how people can get bit and then immediately turn. I don't get it. But, you know what I'm saying? But the way that the walkers, even in how they're engaging everybody, like, there's this one moment where Alicia really should have died, you know, and she's just like, oh, I got you, yeah! I was like, oh, okay. And it just, it takes away from the believability and the danger and the peril. You just know that Alicia's going to make it out some kind of way. And I don't know, like, I think that's where it becomes more of a cheesy kind of standpoint. And I don't know what to give this episode. I'm striding between a 7 and a 7.5 out of 10. I don't think I'm reaching with that, because I mean the last part of it, I was like, okay, I didn't see that coming, but then I did, you know. And then to have everything now where it's at with the group in the hotel, I'm like, where is this gonna go? So I don't know. Hopefully they reared up the last 3 episodes. I think we got 2 more episodes or 3 more episodes, and we got something going for another season. But this episode really didn't do as much for me as I really wanted. And I think that's expectation versus what you kind of think you're gonna get. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this review though. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Y'all have a blessed and awesome Labor Day. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.